everybody. So, I want to talk about this weird, I don't even know what to call it. It's just weird. It happened at youth group, and I'll just get on into it. So, there's this stand that we get our food from, and then there's this kid, and I'm standing behind this one dude, making sure that I keep my distance, because, I like to keep my distance. And so I'm minding my own business, looking over at the Octoball, just watching them play, that type of stuff. And there's this weird lady, while I'm not looking, just cuts, just sort of, I have no idea what happened. I was just looking aside. And then I see her, and I'm getting ready to punch her face off, because I'm scared. Because I'm like, hey, she's breaking my personal space. I want to punch her in the face. And so, multiple red flags just go set off. And then I realized, oh, she must be one of the moms or something. So I don't do it. I'm like, I'm just going to mind my own business. I grab my food, then I go off. And so I think that's the end of it. And trust me, people, I thought that was going to be the end of it too. But no, it wasn't. So the stage setup is sort of like this. And so the person comes up and she's like, hey, I would like to welcome our new friend Karen. And it's the lady. And when she was coming up, she popped my personal space bubble. That's the second time. And by the way, she was pretty close. I was sitting down and she could have hit me. Pretty close to hitting me. And so my youth leader was sitting right next to me, so it would help. So it really helped since I had a witness. And so she gets up on the stage, and then she says, well, this school all started with a dog. And I could feel just the disbelief in the room. I'm pretty sure everybody could feel it in the room, except for her. And keep in mind, this lady, she had the old, pretty much, she looked like, I want your manager, I want to get you fired type of person. I'm judging. Whenever somebody gets on stage, I always judge them. That's how I do. If somebody comes up on stage and they're talking about Jesus and stuff like that, of course I'm going to judge them and then critique them and then say, hey, this is where you got wrong, this is where they got wrong, and then come up to them and say something about it. I'm the type of person who would do that. Because if they're like, well, listen to your heart, I'd be like, in the Bible, it says the heart is the root of deceit. So, and God also gives you a gut. So you gotta listen to the gut because it's the opposite of what your heart wants, because your heart is leading you to sin. So anyway, she starts explaining about the pastor and her wife would usually get some help kids with their homework, and then more kids started coming. They'd play with the dog, and then the pastor and his wife would help with the homework. And the pastor worked at this high school, and he got some high school students to help out with the homework. And they still do it to this day, but they just have a really big building. And so she's talking about all this stuff. And so I raise my hand and ask the reasonable question, do you have any dyslexic students? And she says, well, I don't really know. And I'm thinking in my mind, well, you better find out. And I also asked, do you treat them differently than the other students? And she didn't hear that part. And I was about to raise my hand and ask that question again. And then another person raised their hand, said, where is this school? And the lady says, GM, some campus. And then they're like, yeah, the Wingies at the campus? And everybody's like, yeah. She says, a mile away from that. I'm like, I need directions. Is it straight forward, to the right, to the left? Just go straight for about for about half a mile, turn right, and then and then left, and then right. That wouldn't have made any sense. But again, she could have said, oh, like a mile to the right, or a mile to the left, or something like that. Oh yeah, this is very important to the story. This is kind of funny. So she isn't even like the director of it. She is just a substitute. I don't get why they got a kindergarten substitute to do this. They could have gotten, like, I don't know, an actual teacher. Just, so many red flags came off of this woman. And I was just confused. So anyway, we got to make stuff for the kindergarten class. Just that entire experience was just great. So many red flags. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.